So good evening, everybody, and welcome to Meet the Judge. And I'm delighted tonight to have as my guest FCI All Breeds Judge, very popular around the world, very sought after, very respected judge, Anca Giura. Good evening, Anca.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Colm.
How
Thank
are
you
you?
for inviting me.
You're more than welcome.
Good. I'm here with my two girls.
Yes.
This
Who
is
are?
Maddie, my mom's papillon, and of
The
course,
famous,
Luna.
the famous dachshund.
Yes.
How are you?
Oh, I am good, touching wood, because with what's happening now all over the world, so in my country too, it's this town, for example, I'm in Sibiu now. We are it's locked down. So, and many other cities in my country. So we are only allowed to go out, with this document, not after 10 o'clock in the evening.
Really?
We still have, let's say, about 9,000 cases per day.
Wow.
In all the country, not in this town. And if somebody will bark here, it's not my fault.
That's mine.
So I don't know. Almost 200 people are dying every day.
Wow.
And it's crazy because people are, like all of us, we are waiting for Christmas.
Yes.
Like I was telling you earlier, I think the best present would be a
Indeed.
vaccination.
Yes. And
But
hopefully that won't be too long.
everybody wants to go out now. It's Christmas. Everybody wants to see the lights. And then I'm so afraid we'll be back again.
Yes, it's similar here. I think we are going to probably have another spike in January because families naturally are going to meet up. But we will see. And do you still? I know you're in lockdown now, but have you had shows recently?
Well, we were lucky to have a few shows in Romania. We had one, I don't know, just maybe 5 this year. I was judging in 2 of them here in Sibiu, and in Dracula Dog Show we still had it with distance, with special best in show, not like usual, but we still have had a great show.
And was that limited to Romanian exhibitors?
Please?
Was that only Romanian exhibitors? Nobody allowed in?
No, you will have. We had, I think, from Sweden a few.
Okay.
From a few countries, they succeed to arrive, but not, of course, not so many. Just a few. I mean, you know how many we have usually. It's a well-known show. I mean, organized by Jolt Locodi, and people from all over the world and many continents are here usually, but not this time, unfortunately.
And I assume when you're judging, you're wearing a mask.
Yes.
And did you think that upset the dogs at all, or did they notice?
No? Not at all. Not at all. But the truth is that when I judge, it was, let's say, a few months after everybody wear the mask. So probably the dogs were okay with that.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, all the owners were also obliged to have the mask. And we kept some distance.
It's very strange, isn't it? Must be very strange judging.
Yes, we are living strange times, all of us.
So if we start off, I'm going to switch you now to a single screen so everybody can just listen to you.
I will feel alone here.
So when you were growing up, Anca, did you have dogs? Were your parents, did they have dogs?
No, but my grandfather he was a doctor, and when he arrived at his pension, he started breed pigeons and chickens, but breed many, not many breeds, a few ones. He was going in shows with, and he was also a judge.
Okay.
So for me, it was fascinating to see how he's preparing, for example, a pigeon for a show.
Yeah.
Or a chicken. It's kind of grooming also.
Okay.
And I was with him everywhere, and I so much wanted a dog, but I had to wait a little bit for my
Yeah.
first.
And when was that, and what breed? What was your first breed?
Oh, dachshund.
Always Dachshund.
I had 10 years old, and finally I got my first one. And as you can see, I'm still there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. And I know from talking to Petru that shows in dog shows in Romania didn't happen so much until maybe the 80s,
Well,
because you lived in very strange circumstances.
not quite the 80s, because in 81, oh, but this is the next question. No, we had them in 70s also,
Okay.
but not like now, but still many people. And we were presenting a good friend of mine who was kind of my mentor and my best friend, a great doctor, veterinarian doctor, Ruxandra Nicolescu. She was presenting and those shows, and I remember when the breeds were just coming. We used to do this on a stadium.
Okay.
So when the breeds starting to pass in front of the people, oh my God, we had a huge assembly, let's say, of
Mm-hmm.
dogs, breed by breed. So she presents every breed, the historical, the of and everything. So but by that time we did not have many, how would I say, many things where to go, or
Yes.
there were concerts, but also those dog shows. And I was crazy when I had my first dachshund. I already was searching here and there for some, some books to learn. And I was.
Yes. Yes. And how long did it take you to start to win in Dachshunds, and when did you achieve your first champion?
Oh, uh, I remember, because first I just got one dachshund, and then we
Mm-hmm.
had a second, a third, and I was 18 years old when he won a big show,
Okay.
one of my dogs. But I was still in shows since I had, let's say, 14 years old. Then
Right.
I was allowed, because I had my identity card, so I was allowed to be the owner. And of course, I wanted to go in shows.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it
And,
was it was really, really great.
and when did you achieve your first champion?
Oh, my first champion, I was 18 years old.
Right. Okay. And you mentioned one person already, the veterinarian. What other people influenced you when you were starting out?
Well, when I started, it was the breeder of my first dachshund, um, very classy and well known by then lady. He's not between us anymore, unfortunately. Giura Gika, from family of the Prince Gika, and
Okay.
She was also a judge, and she was the one who gave me books to read and learned me how and what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Ruxandra Nicolescu. Both of them, they were teaching me and even pushing me to become a judge. So it was a great, great time and some wonderful persons by then. And from the people that you know, I mean, everybody knows in kinology, Petru Muntean, my good, great friend, was already a judge by then. Christian, he was a very, very young secretary by then. But I had some lovely people around me.
Yeah, so it's very important that when you're starting out, you have those people.
Yes. Just a minute, because I don't know what. But I'm sorry. Yes. She was climbing on my mom's who's reading there. Sorry. It's a very happy, happy dog.
What's been your biggest achievement as an exhibitor?
Wow, my biggest achievement, of course, with Luna. Because very young, she was world winner. She was Voot winner and European winner.
Wow.
So this is, I mean, wow.
That's
but I'm just the humble owner. She has a great breeder, Perttu Steinberg from Finland, Stalberg, and she was shown, as everybody knows, by my great friend Lisa. So I was just the one who was shaking.
Yes. Yeah, but you do all the hard work with the preparation and the looking after.
Yes, I am
But
just the humble owner.
But that's big achievements for a dachshund.
Yes, in such a young age.
And when you're breeding, when you're deciding who you're going to mate who to, do you read pedigrees, or are you more of a, well, I think that bitch will suit that dog?
Well, I will tell you this from the time I was breeding Smooth Standard. This was my first breed. So yes, of course, I was taking care of the pedigrees also. We were not so lucky to be allowed to go outside of the country to find a good male, or but still I was managing by this. And the first breeder who gave me the first dachshund was the one who always advised.
Okay.
But I will tell you now, I am not a breeder anymore. I have stopped after a few liters because I always wanted for the puppies an owner at least as good as I am, not with a false modesty.
Yes.
And with one female that I wanted first to keep, and then I realized that I couldn't keep. We had too many, and it was by the time of Ceausescu, so no mobile phones, no. So I thought she was in good hands, and no, I found out months after that she was very bad. She died, and this just I realized that I'm not a good. I mean, I could not do this one more time.
Right.
So then I stopped. I said it's not for me.
But that can happen to anybody.
Yes, but maybe I love them too much. I
Well,
don't know.
perhaps. And as you say, with the circumstances that were in your country at the time, it would have been difficult
Yeah.
to keep track. So, when did you start judging first?
Oh, at 21 years old.
Wow.
I was the youngest judge, and I need, of course, I don't know how to tell this, the special paper, but
Mm-hmm.
until then I was doing all the drawings for the catalogs, for the posters, for a couple of books with dogs. So I need to learn. I was like crazy to learn to know
Yes.
everything about every breed, and so they decided after I was doing secretary for years, very young, true,
Yes. Yes.
that now I should be a judge. But I was 21 years old, the
So you had
youngest.
to sit all the examinations.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
And imagine by then we couldn't find any books. So I started to study and to do myself the drawings of, the skeleton, the muscles, all the
Yes.
organs, all the breeds and parts of the dog. So I still have this book done by myself. I mean, book. It's a yes, kind of book.
Wow. Maybe we should publish it.
Yes, maybe.
And when you started judging, I'm sure people offered you advice. What was the best piece of advice you were given?
Well, it's an advice that I also had in my family, and I remember my grandfather. Um, he was there to see me judge. It was in Sibiu, the first
Mm-hmm.
time I was judging. But my friends, my close friends, my family, they all respect and try to inoculate me this with the rule of the Dalai Lama with the 3R. The respect for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
respect for the others, and responsibility for your own actions.
That's pretty. I like that.
Yes, and
That's very good.
it because I think it is a huge responsibility, and in the same time you have to respect everybody. This is what I'm teaching also to my students,
Yes.
the 3R thing, and also never do to somebody else something that you would not like that somebody
Actually, yes. That is quite
do.
true. That is
Yes,
quite true. And that's a very good piece of advice to give out to anybody.
yes.
And do you think?
Uh, oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was thinking about my book and the thing. I'm teaching arts, visual arts.
Yes.
So um, for me, become the fact of becoming a judge was also a kind of art because I'm working with proportions.
Yes.
I'm working with the beauty in and the balance.
Yes.
So I think in judging a dog, it's also a kind of art, I would say,
You're quite.
because you
Yeah.
have
No.
to find the right balance, the right proportions.
Absolutely. That's a very valid point. And do you think now for judges who are starting their judging career, do you think it's important that they ask questions of breeders, exhibitors, experienced judges?
I think it's important. Of course, you have always to take care who to ask,
True. Yes. Yes.
because there are people who are, let's say, a little bit sufficient, or some others that they think they know everything. And a good advice is always important. Well,
She's having great fun.
yes.
She's very lively. But I always find as well that if you're starting judging, or even if at our stage, if you're doing a breed you're not sure of, or you want to get more, to go and watch them in the ring.
Always, and I think it's not a shame to ask.
Absolutely.
Because I think that we should learn every day, not only from the older ones or from the more experienced ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling my students at school that I might learn from them also.
Yes.
You might learn from a dog a lot of things, for example.
And I think we are, as all breeds judges, we are lucky because we get to we do a lot of judging maybe outside of our own country, and we're sitting watching groups, but we are also all the time asking other judges questions about, well, what do you think about that dog or the other dog? And I think up and coming judges sometimes are a little afraid to do that, but it's very important because even we are still learning all the time, and if you stop learning,
Yes, this is also my opinion. Never stop learning.
you know. Okay, and when did you achieve all breed status?
I achieved my old breed 30 years after my first
That took
exam.
quite some time.
Well, I didn't want to rush, and I
Yes.
will tell you why. Because I do not trust judges who are just becoming like this all-rounders.
Yes.
Because it is impossible to know so many things about all the breeds, and the responsibility is huge.
Yes.
I mean, I saw people who, of course, I will not give name. And I
No.
said, "Oh, are you judging this breed for the first time? Have you read enough? Have you studied lines and things?" "Oh no, I got a good eye. I
No.
don't trust."
Nobody's that
I
good.
yes.
My God.
So 30 years after, which means I'm all rounder for 7 years already.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And how many judges? Sorry, how many judges? How many countries have you roughly judged in there?
Well, that question I'm not sure I can answer.
Okay. Many.
But most of the countries in Europe, including islands and things, and Japan and Australia and South Africa and um, Russia many times.
It's a great sport, isn't it, for traveling?
Yes, but it's absolutely great because you can feel some other country. I mean, feel. Sometimes I'm going out from the hotel, escaping the
Yes.
dinner, just taking, a map
Mm-hmm.
and going to feel the city, to feel where I am, to know where I am.
Yeah.
I cannot just go to the hotel and back to the airport.
Yeah. But
But
it's
in the
oh,
same,
go
please,
on. Yeah. Go ahead.
I said, in the same time, I have colleagues at my high school where I'm working who are saying, "Oh, wow, you had so much fun in the weekend. You were in that country or on that continent. Wow." I said, "Yes, wow, but you don't think how many hours and how much we are running in airports,
Yes. Yes.
catching or not
Yes.
a certain next flight, and then you are tired." And then I said, "You maybe," speaking with my colleagues and or friends, I said, "Maybe you are just staying and watching a film on the weekend and going out, and but we are working about 10 days, 10 hours per day."
Absolutely. And people don't realize it is very tiring,
But it is
very
wonderful
enjoyable.
also. Yes,
but tiring.
absolutely. Both. The
Uh,
same.
and aside from Dachshunds, is there a breed that you love to judge?
I love all breeds, you know. I love all dogs. I even had a dog that I found on the street, a huge one, like a boxer, big as a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
But and she could teach the good manners to a lot of people.
Ah, yes.
So I love all dogs in all their shapes. But of course, dachshunds are first. But it does not mean that if I'm judging a best in show, I will give to group four.
No,
It
absolutely,
only
yeah.
happened, I think, 3 times in my life, or four.
Mm.
So
I actually
I
think
try to keep the balance. And you know, speaking about what I was saying before about art, if you look at all the dogs in group 10, I mean, they are breathtaking.
yes,
If you, and each group, they are wonderful.
yes.
I couldn't choose more than,
I think you raised, you mentioned an interesting fact there now that you've only put up the DAX group four maybe twice. I think sometimes when you're
no, I
doing
think 4 times.
four times, well, I think when you're judging groups or best in shows and your own breed is there, that sometimes you're more,
More critical.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes. Um, so, and is there a fault that really irritates you? Hmm.
False speaking about doggies?
Yes.
No, because I don't think. Uh, are you speaking about the physical fault?
Is there a physical fault that irritates you when you're judging a particular fault?
No, it's not a particular one, but oh yes, it might be when uh, when you take uh, the head of a dog in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, here is.
There she is.
Uh, then you don't have to think to any other breed,
Uh-huh. Yes.
and often it happens, and often the judges are a little bit passing,
Mm-hmm.
but this irritates me because the expression should be the right for the breed.
Absolutely.
Other one irritating me, there are things for irritating me from people more than from dogs.
Okay. Yes.
The people who are sufficient, liars or arrogant, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. And
hypocrisy, all the
yes.
things that a dog cannot have.
Yes.
A dog cannot lie.
No, a dog can't be hypocritical. You're quite right. And critiquing, and you do critiquing in Romania. Um, but do you think it should be introduced more widely? Do you like critiquing?
Um, it depends because critics are good in one way, but it depends so much of the secretary that you have.
Yeah,
It
true.
depends so much because just one word misunderstood, then it everything can go wrong.
That's quite true. That's quite true.
Or it happened to me once in I will not name the country.
No.
Um, the secretary did not speak English or French or Italian, just a
Okay.
little bit of English. So we had so many dogs to judge. And I tried to explain from the first this, you
Yes.
know, all the things about the first dog, which happened to be a good one. mean, not a good, an excellent one. And I remember even now, I was judging pugs, and well, we succeed to do the paper together, the critiques, and then I had to rush. So I'm judging, I'm explaining, telling, and trying, all the time not to repeat the words because each dog is different.
Mm-hmm.
Each dog has something else. I mean, head expression, bite, body, angulations, and well, at the end of the day, I had to sign those paper by hand, and I was
Yes.
all the papers were quite the same.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So, if you don't have time to do yourself the critiques or to have great secretary like in most of the country are, then I think it's dangerous to do that.
Yes.
But what I care very much is that the owner or handler understood very well why he has this excellent or very good or good or
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's. Uh, I don't think we can say that enough. That it is so important if you're giving a very good or lower than an excellent that you must say why you're doing that.
Oh,
You know.
absolutely, because we have all seen, I think, judges who are just saying 1, 2, 3, bye.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah. Or giving lovely
uh,
critiques, but then giving out a very good. That
I
doesn't
mean,
work that way.
yes.
Incidentally, there's a lot of people saying hello to Luna. Um, and the champion qualified CKs, like they have
Yes.
in Sweden, do you like them?
Well, I think as I'm judging a lot in Finland, and I love to judge there,
Mm-hmm.
the system is the same, and I think it's a good thing to have it because you give the chance. I think she hasn't drink any Red Bull, but I
Oh,
think it's good to give the chance to the next one or the third one to have this CK
yeah.
since the first have it because it would not help to have 3, 4, 5 CKs
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and to give the chance to because we all have seen in many breeds the same dog winning and like this I mean the other ones have also the chance stop. I'm sorry.
She's in great form tonight.
Oh yes, she's always like this. Now she has seen the toys.
And how do you deal, or you may not have come across this at all, how do you deal with irate exhibitors or exhibitors who don't like what you have?
Well, of course, from all the exhibitors, only one is the happiest one,
Yes, that is
the
true.
first one. But you know, you need to know some psychology and tell to each and everyone that it's not that you don't like the dog, but I mean, for them, the dog might be the best one. And I'm trying to tell them with calm, of course, that what I'm doing, I'm just comparing the dog to the standard.
Yes.
And I'm not judging the heart, the soul of that dog.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm telling them all the time, at the end of a show, everybody goes home with the best dog,
Yes.
his own dog,
Yes. Yes.
which is very important. And I'm trying to do this with respect for the dog, with respect for the owner or the handler. But of course, sometimes you have great handlers who are coming with not the super dog, and
Yes.
you can have a super dog with his owner that nobody has seen before, and a great dog. So of course, one of them is a little bit upset after this.
It happens.
But
Yes.
to be true, this is the thing that I believe in,
Yes.
and
Yes.
to have all the and to know why and to explain why this dog, in your opinion, might
Mm.
be a wrong, but you have to assume this opinion
Mm.
and to have all the arguments for it.
Yes. And that means reading your standards and making sure you know the breed, which some people don't do. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and what has been your biggest judging achievement?
Well, I was thinking about, I have judged world dog shows, European dog shows, but still we were working so hard for our breeds in Romania, for our
Mhm.
shepherds. And I remember I still have, goosebumps when I'm thinking at the European show here in Bucharest in 2012, when at the end we
Mhm.
presented our breeds. I was in the middle of a huge ring introduced by Cristian Stefanescu. I was there with Petru Muntean, great judges and great friends, both of them.
Yes.
And the ring was filled up with almost 100 Meoritics.
Wow.
And I mean, this
That
is what
must have been.
yes. And of course, not only Meoritics, but I was presenting them. We had also the Carpathians, the Bukovina, and now recently we were working, and hopefully soon you will see the fourth breed more and more, the Raven.
Really?
Yes, it's a second group dog. Great, beautiful. We were working with Petru
Mm-hmm.
a lot the first years. I think we were only the two of us measuring, judging them. Now they start to be all over the country and even outside. But we are still working.
That's a great achievement.
Yes. So this is, I mean, to see everybody going in the ring in
Yes.
the traditional costumes and with 100 Meoritics, it was wow.
That must have been.
Almost 100. I don't know to say.
No, that must have been wonderful to see.
But otherwise, I I am the same, judging in the same way and feeling the same way in a small group show or in the World of show. You have
Yes.
to be true
Mm.
in both. So,
Yeah. And do you think judges, or as judges, do you think we have a role in the development of breeds? And do you think judges understand, if you think we do you think judges understand that?
well, some of us, yes.
Yeah.
Some of us, yes. And it's a huge responsibility.
Yes.
Huge, because you can destroy a breed, or as you should do, putting up a breed, helping to have healthy dogs, beautiful dogs.
Yeah.
So I think this is still a lot to work here on.
But I think personally, I think when you see a breed perhaps that a has one fault in all of or in a lot of the dogs that are exhibiting, I think we have a duty as judges to point that out
Absolutely.
and to say,
That's why in many countries we have to fill those paper at the
yes,
end for certain breeds, and I
yes,
think it's great.
yes. I agree with you. I think that is a brilliant system, and it does appear to be working.
Let's hope it will work.
And what is your view on how kennel clubs across the world are dealing with the issue surrounding brachycephalic breeds? Do you think we're doing enough?
This is so complicated because, you know, we don't have to. Look, I mean, we have to think that those are very old breeds, most of them.
Yes.
So it's not that they are new breeds. I do not agree with mixing them now. I I still think we can save those breeds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I am against any exaggeration,
Yes.
and it's because of those that you have uh, breed problems and some other problems. But with good tests and everything, I think we can save them.
Mm-hmm. And do you think kennel clubs are dealing with the problem?
Some of them yes, some of them not.
Mm.
As I'm an artist and I have plenty of albums and I have studied history of art, and just think at the number of paintings, old paintings, where you find King Charles,
Yes.
Pug,
Yes.
All those breeds, Bostons,
French bulldogs.
Frenchies, and we have to think to save them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they should be. It's a national treasure for every country to have them. But again, if I mean, some breeders are exaggerating, then the judges are putting up those dogs
Yes.
who can barely breathe and they almost die in the main ring.
That is the problem.
This is the problem.
And do you think kennel clubs should adopt a common policy? Do you think FCI should get more involved?
Yes. I mean, everybody should be involved
Mm.
in those. It's so easy to banish a breed. Oh, let's say this one. Oh, they are not good. Stop breeding them. No,
Yeah.
because in each and every of these breeds you can have healthy dogs. I mean, we have healthy dogs, beautiful dogs. So,
Yes.
but there is still a lot to work.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're going to lighten the mood a little bit now. If you were to have 4 dinner guests, who would they be?
um, you
Luna
know,
doesn't count.
I will no offense, but I I will not answer because I'm so afraid to hurt one or other. So I would either choose, some artists who are not here anymore, like Michelangelo, like Leonardo. But I had the chance to meet some amazing people in my life, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
so grateful for this. So since it's my secret dinner, I would keep.
That's a very political answer.
No, but it's true.
Okay. Okay. So, do you have a funniest or most embarrassing moment as an exhibitor or a judge?
Yes, both.
Okay, well, we'll have both.
So a funny moment was many years ago here in Romania. We were just starting with the shows and things. So I was a young judge, and the lady came with a coker on the table, and I said, "Teeth, please." So the lady showed me her teeth. Not a joke, it's true. Happened.
What did you do?
But I was so embarrassed. I tried not to laugh, and I said, "No, no, your dog says please." So this was the funniest moment. The most embarrassing one, a few years ago in St. Petersburg, I was judging, and as you know, Luna she's all the time with me
Yes.
when I'm judging, and she stays on my chair in her crate, her bag, and she's so silent. She's never barking, nothing. But no, I don't know what. I was judging my last dog. It was a beautiful junior husky female,
Okay.
alone in the ring, doing the rounds, and my Luna start barking. And I tried, I was embarrassing because it's not happening usually.
Yes.
So I was telling Luna, hush, slowly going next to the table, Luna, hush. And she was barking more. So I was not yelling, but still speaking more loud, Luna, hush. So that lady stopped immediately. She looked at me and called her dog, okay, Luna, come here. And I said, oh my God, your dog is Luna too. I'm so sorry. I said, mine, it's also Luna. So I was
Oh, that's very
Luna
good.
Hush said I could not knew the name of your dog. And then we laughed because anyway, that husky was gorgeous, a beautiful, beautiful junior female. But I was a little bit embarrassed by the moment.
Yeah, that's very funny. I like that. Um,
Yes.
and if you couldn't, if you didn't live in Romania, is there a country you'd love to live in?
Yes, Belgium.
Belgium.
Yes.
Okay, go on. Explain.
Well, I fall in love of this country many years ago, and I still am.
Okay.
Because I mean all the medieval towns and
Yes.
amazing, amazing uh, towns, little corners, streets with great cathedrals, and of course, beloved friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And final question, Anka. If you could write your epitaph, what would it be?
Well, this was a very optimistic way to finish an interview, of course. But she loved beauty in all the shapes, in souls, in nature, in art.
That's lovely.
Because I'm working with beauty, as I was
Yes.
telling you.
Yes. That's very nice. And you're not teaching now because of lockdown, no?
Oh, teaching arts online,
Online.
yes, it's quite hard.
Must keep you very busy.
Yes, I have a lot of classes online, and happily, I have already started good things with the students, so we can continue now. But it's not easy because you work with the emotion
Well,
also
yes.
behind proportions and lines, and a line can suggest something, a feeling,
Yes. Yes.
and a drawing like a dog, like everything beautiful has to put you in this state of mind, has to transmit you an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to teach those kind of lines, and you have to put your soul inside in everything
Mm.
you're doing.
Yes. Well, it has been absolutely fabulous talking to you.
It was a pleasure
I've
to.
loved every minute of it. And thank you very much for taking the time. I know it is late in Romania.
Not for us.
Oh, that's good. And it just remains for me to thank you. Thank you, Luna.
Thank you.
I think Luna has been just as popular as you have been on the comments. So she's been a wonderful accompaniment. And stay safe.
Thank you. You too, and all our friends. Stay safe. I wish you all the best. All the best to all of you.
So, good night.
Good night. Be safe.